The White House is resisting pressure to support calls for a ceasefire in Gaza. The Arab American community leading a revolt within the Democrat Party, threatening the re-election of Joe Biden next year. Our Washington correspondent Annalise Nielsen explains in this special report from the American state of Michigan.
On college campuses across America, the Israel-Gaza conflict is unavoidable. Here in Ann Arbor, Michigan, students and local activists alike are boarding buses for an 8-hour drive down to Washington, D.C. They're joining a national march in the capital.
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
And fueling the furious response from the Arab American community to the US government's support of Israel.
To see American tax dollars be used when Biden said that we don't have any money for health care in this country to be used to bomb children and then steal land in the West Bank in Ramallah, where my family's from and has lived for over 800 years, documented, it's beyond devastating.
You guys can go ahead and get into the bus. Okay.
Michigan has the second highest Arab population of any state in the United States, behind only California. And Arab Americans are driving calls to demand Israel initiate a ceasefire.
Hamas did not start this violence. This has been completely perpetuated and provoked by Israel by keeping Palestinians enclosed, under siege, under blockade for decades, cutting off their access to food and water and electricity.
The rhetoric has grown more pointed as the weeks drag on.
The phrase in here, it says from the river to the sea, is like, it's like it goes back in the history where like all the Palestinians were like having that, they're living with the Jewish people. Palestinian, there's like Muslim and there's like Christian people. So there was like like about like, it's never going to be about religion. And that's what I would say basically. It's not about religion.
Even though it might be controversial to some, there are tons of Jews out there who are in support of Palestine being free from the river to the sea, because that is their land, that is their indigenous land that was originally theirs. So,
Are you Jewish?
I'm not Jewish.
It's frustrating and it's infuriating. At our core, it's also scary, because that expression from the river to the sea really is a declaration that they're looking to follow in the footsteps of Hitler and wipe Jews off the map. It's about killing people. It's not about freeing the Palestinian people. It's actually about murdering Jews. So that slogan in particular is very scary and runs chills through our spine. It feels like 1939 all over again.
Rabbi Starr leads one of the largest Jewish congregations in Detroit. The temple has marked out sections of pews to represent the number of Jewish victims being held hostage by Hamas. They're feeling how deeply the conflict between Israel and Gaza is dividing the community here, and hoping the US doesn't back down of its support of Israel.
Of course we're worried. The Jews are a very small population. We don't have the same number of votes or the same power that the Arab community has here in America, or certainly the sheer number of Arabs around the world. So of course we are afraid, but we are grateful for those who have stood up to understand that Hamas is a terrorist organization and we have to combat terror.
Here in Michigan, if Arab American voters abandon Joe Biden, it might just cost him this state and in turn the next presidential election. In 2020, Joe Biden only won Michigan by around 155,000 votes, and that's in a state of over 8 million registered voters. According to exit polling, around 145,000 of those voters were Muslim Americans, and they might just not cast a ballot for Joe Biden next time around if they're still unhappy with how he's handled this issue.
Did you vote for Joe Biden?
I sure did, and I'm heartbroken about doing that. I feel sick to death, and I will not do it. I will not do it. And I'm getting pressure already from my own family, my friends, because we were blamed when Hillary didn't win, when Trump won. He's the same as Trump. He's telling us Trump is bad, but Trump and Netanyahu, same thing.
While for the American Jewish community, the horror of the Hamas atrocities on October 7 lives on.
There's no question, with the rise in hate crimes around the country and certainly even in our own area, everybody is more afraid than they were before.
Annalise Grace Nielsen, Sky News in Michigan.